Yo, what's going on guys? Evan Tanaka here, back with another video. In today's video, I'm ranking the best point guards in NBA 2K22 My Team on a tier list. As you guys can see on the screen, we have a tier list ranking from S all the way down to D tier. D tier basically meaning I would not recommend running these point guards. C tier basically meaning you can run the point guard, but I wouldn't recommend them. B tier is going to be a very solid point guard. A tier is going to be one of the best point guards in the game, and then S tier is going to be my top 5 point guards in NBA 2K22 My Team. Before we get into the video, if you guys are new here, I'd really appreciate if you could subscribe down below. I post 3 to 4 My Team videos every single day and give you guys some of the best My Team content on the platform. So further ado, let's get on to the video. The first point guard on the tier list is going to be Paul Arizen. I'm going to have him in C tier for now. Maybe he gets moved up to B tier. I'm not really the biggest fan of this Paul Arizen card. I do think he's decent. I think you can run him at the point guard position if you want to. I just wouldn't necessarily recommend it. He's 6'4", 6'6" wingspan. I just feel like he's a little bit too short and doesn't play the best defense, and I'm not the biggest fan of his jump shot. Shifty dribble style really isn't the best either. So overall, I do think he's an okay point guard. I just wouldn't really recommend running him with how good of point guards we do have in the game. Next is going to be Bradley Beal. I think he's B tier. I think he's a very solid point guard. I would much rather run Bradley Beal over a guy like Paul Arizen. Even though he's only 6'3" with a 6'8" wingspan, I think he gives you a lot more on the offensive end. And Bradley Beal's got an amazing jump shot. Ray Allen base, James Harden upper on very quick release timing. Also has shifty dribble style, but I like his jump shot a lot more. And I do feel like he moves a little bit on the moves a little bit better on the offensive end. He's got a ton of Hall of Fame shooting badges as well. Good playmaking hoffs as well. And they look at the defensive hoffs. He's got clamps, pickpocket, and pogo stick. Stats wise, obviously going to be a really good offensive card. Has a 92 steal, 94 lateral, and 92 perimeter defense. Next point guard on the tier list is going to be arguably the best point guard in the game. It is going to be Dark Matter Ben Simmons. Arguably the best point guard in the game. You could say he's number 1. You could say MJ's number 1. You could say Luka's number 1. But Ben Simmons is a top tier point guard in my team. Definitely top 5. Point guard, power forward, 6'11", 7-foot wingspan, with a 94 3 ball, and he's 6'11" at the point guard position. He's got quick dribble style, Kobe Bryant seismic escape package, Scottie Pippen behind the back. He's also got Ben Simmons jump shot on quick release timing. Yes, it might be a little bit slow, but for what Ben Simmons does on the defensive end, being 6'11" at point guard with a 94 3 ball, Hall of Fame catch and shoot, limitless spot up, and sniper, it doesn't really matter that his jump shot is a little bit slow. Honestly, he's not going to be your maybe primary ball handler. You probably want to run Ben Simmons and Luka. Like if you're the best team in the game, you probably want to run like Ben Simmons at the 1 and then Luka at the 2. If you're on next gen, if you're on current gen, you probably want to go Ben Simmons at the 1 and then MJ at the 2. Ben Simmons can even play your lock role. Like he can be your lockdown defender with these good Hall of Fame defensive badges and some really good defensive stats with being 6'11" at the point guard position. Ben Simmons easily going to be in S tier. Oscar Robertson, I do think is pretty solid. I'm gonna have him in B tier. I don't think necessarily he's an amazing point guard. I think he's just pretty average, 6'5", 6'8" wingspan. I mean, we look at the stats, like, yes, he's good. I'm just not really the biggest fan of his jump shot. I know a lot of people do love this Oscar Robertson card, and some people might have him in A tier, but for me personally, I'm gonna have him B tier. I just think he's kind of like Bradley Beal. He's just very solid. Good ball handle, good drive and dunk, good defense, good speed, and good 3 ball. Just really not the biggest fan of Oscar Robertson's jump shot. Cade Cunningham, I think, is on the same level as Oscar. He's a little bit worse than Oscar in my opinion. Cade Cunningham, there's only one thing you really need to know about Cade. Like for competitive scene or, winning games online with Cade Cunningham, all you guys want to do, he's 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan. You just want to run to the basket for one reason only. He's got front clutches, a dunk package 5. So when he goes to the basket, he does these front clutches, which are pretty much impossible to block. That's why Cade Cunningham is super overpowered, because of these front clutches. So you just rim run with him, right? You 5 out, rim run, go to the basket, front clutch every single time, and it's super hard to guard Cade Cunningham. If you play a guy who knows what to do with this Cade card, he can be a top 5 point guard in the game. But for me, I do think he deserves to be in B tier. Alex Caruso, I think, is decent as well. I'm gonna put him high C tier. He's not on the same level as Oscar and Cade. I do like Caruso a lot. He's much better than Paul Arizen in my opinion. but I just don't feel like I can give him a higher rating than C tier, because you guys gotta remember, these are the best point guards in the game. So C tier for like Alex Caruso, he's gonna be high C tier. He is very usable. I just think there's better options. But if you're looking for a budget guy, Caruso is definitely the budget point guard. 6'4", 6'5" wingspan, an amazing defensive card, great speed. I love his jump shot and very quick release timing. He's got quick dribble style. He's got Scottie Pippen behind the back. Overall, I do think he's an amazing point guard, and especially really good on the defensive end, and he gives you some pretty good offense as well. So Caruso is going to be in my C tier. Michael Jordan, like we were talking about, is going to be an S tier. Easily the top 5 point guard. You could say he's the best on current gen. You could say he's the best on next gen, and I won't disagree with you. We're not going to look at Michael Jordan too much. He's 6'6", 6'11" wingspan, has pretty much perfect stats for a point guard. And then we look at the animations. He's got his jump shot and very quick release timing. He's got quick dribble style, Kyrie Irving size escape package. Michael Jordan's got the Kyrie Irving signature size up. He's also got the Trae Young size of escape package, and he's got the Scottie Pippen behind the back. So probably the best card in my team right now, especially on current gen. So for point guard, definitely deserves to be an S tier. Zach LaVine, I think, is a top 5 point guard as well. I mean, maybe he gets moved down to A tier later in the video, but I do think Zach LaVine is an S tier point guard. 6'5", 6'8" wingspan, super good on the offensive end. 93 mid-range, 93 lateral, 93 steal, great at going to the basket, 98 driving dunk, 93 ball handle, 94 speed with ball. Tons of good Hall of Fame shooting badges. We look at the jump shot on very quick release timing, quick dribble style, size of escape, or the signature size up is pretty good. Zach LaVine's, it's not bad, and I kind of like his size of escape package as well. I do think it's pretty solid. And then he's got the Scottie Pippen behind the back. So overall, Zach LaVine is an amazing point guard, and I think deserves to be in the top 5. Next point guard on the tier list is going to be very similar to Alex Caruso. I do think they kind of do the same thing. They're both like really good on the defensive end and probably better defensively than they are offensively, but I just don't feel like they're on the same level as like Oscar and Cade and Bradley Beal. But I do think Chauncey Billups is really good. Derrick Rose for me is a top 5 point guard in the game. You could definitely argue that he's not top 5, but for me, I do think he is a top 5 point guard in the game. 6'3", 6'8" wingspan. You can look at the stats and the badges, but there's only real one animation that makes this card super good. And we come to the animations, it's going to be the signature size up on D Rose. He's the only card in the game that gets it, and it's probably the best size up in the game, in my personal opinion. Then he's also got Kobe Bryant's size of escape package. He's got Trae Young moving behind the back, which really isn't the best, but great jump shot. He's got the size up. That's the best size up in the game. And then obviously stats and badges wise, he's going to be an absolute demon. This card's got 99 speed with ball, and 98 ball handle. He moves super well on the offensive end. And personally, I love this Derrick Rose card. Steph Curry at this point in the year is going to be C tier. If you want to have fun with the card, Steph Curry is really fun to use. If you want to use him for competitive setting, Curry really isn't the best point guard. Damian Lillard, honestly, C tier as well. I just really don't think this card's good. He's a bit undersized, really can't play defense, and offensively, he's not the best. Jalen Suggs, I think, is also C tier. Really not the biggest fan of Suggs. He's kind of on the same level as like a Caruso, a Chauncey Billups, where yes, you can run Jalen Suggs. Would I recommend it? Absolutely not. I'd much rather run an Oscar, a Cade, a Bradley Beal. Next point guard on the list is going to be DAngelo Russell, and I think he's going to be our first A tier point guard. I would much rather run D'Lo over Oscar, Cade, and Bradley Beal, because I do think he's a little bit better than those type of guys. Now, they are very similar. You could definitely say D'Lo deserves to be in B tier, or you could definitely say Oscar or Cade or Bradley Beal deserves to be in A tier. So it's whatever way you guys want to put it, but I do think they're all really close. D'Lo though is 6'5", 6'9" wingspan. Stats wise are amazing, really good on the defensive end. 95 speed, 94 3 ball, only an 80 driving dunk, but you're not really going to the rim with this card. He's more of a 3 hunter. 94 ball handle, 94 speed with ball. Really good Hall of Fame shooting badges. Playmaking wise, pretty good as well. Having Hall of Fame quick first step, handles for days, bullet pass or dimer, and then defensively has a ton of good Hall of Fame badges as well. We look at the jump shot, D'Lo on very quick. Actually, is a pretty good jump shot. My only flaw with the card is going to be the shifty dribble style, and really not the best size of escape package. But other than that, I think D'Lo is a top tier point guard in the game. Next point guard on the tier list is going to be Isaiah Thomas, and I think we all know why he's going to be in D tier. He's 5'9" tall. We're in May. You just really can't have a point guard that's 5'9". Jason Williams, he's alright. I think he deserves to be in C tier. Maybe you could argue him being in B tier, but I think I'm gonna have him in low and high C tier for now, kind of on the level of Caruso, Suggs, and Chauncey Billups. Josh Giddey, A tier point guard for sure. I do think Josh Giddey is super elite. He's basically just a better Cade Cunningham. Same thing with Cade Cunningham. He's 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan. Really good at going to the basket, and I do think he's a super elite overall point guard. Tons of good Hall of Fame playmaking badges. Has a good amount of defensive badges on Hall of Fame. Jump shot actually is really good on very quick release timing. My only flaw with the card is going to be the shifty dribble style, and you can definitely argue that he deserves to be an S tier over a guy like Derrick Rose. Just me personally, I like Derrick Rose a little bit better. Luka Doncic, at this point in the year, I don't really need to explain on next gen why he's the best point guard in the game, or at least top 5 in S tier. He's got the glitches jump shot on my team, and you literally cannot contest his jumper, so he definitely deserves to be an S tier. Magic Johnson, I think is C tier, to be honest. I might move a couple guys up to B tier, like Caruso and maybe Chauncey. I think I'll move those guys up to B tier because I'd rather Caruso and Chauncey over these guys in the bottom. I do think Magic's are right. He's kind of similar to Cade Cunningham, where, I mean, he's 6'9", right, which is nice, 7-foot wingspan. I just don't feel like he can move that well on the offensive end because Magic Johnson's dribble style really isn't the best. Doesn't have a size up, doesn't have a good behind the back, doesn't have a good size up escape package. So if you're picking up this Magic Johnson card, you're picking him up for one reason, and that's basically he's 6'9". But at this point in the year, we have Ben Simmons, we have even Michael Jordan 6'6", Luka 6'7", Cade Cunningham 6'8", Josh Giddey 6'8". That Magic Johnson being 6'9" really isn't that big of an advantage. Next point guard on the tier list is going to be Manu Ginobili. He is very similar to Cade, to Oscar, and Bradley Beal. I think Oscar, Cade, and Manu are very similar as point guards. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I'm gonna have him in high C tier. I do think he's actually really solid. You know, I'm gonna put him B tier. I think he's actually pretty good. I'm gonna put him high C tier, and then I'm gonna put Victor in B tier because I do think Victor is a little bit better, but I do like Shai a lot, so don't get that twisted. I do think Shai is a really good point guard, 6'6", can handle the ball pretty well. Just really not the biggest fan of his jump shot. Victor is pretty much the exact same as a guy like Oscar, and very similar to a guy like Dwayne Wade. I think Victor and D Wade are pretty much the exact same cards. I just prefer Dwayne Wade's jump shot a lot more. We can quickly look at those two cards real quick. Dwayne Wade, 6'4", 6'10" wingspan, 98 speed, 94 3 ball. D Wade is probably one of the best defensive point guards in the game, especially for his height. 92 ball handle, 98 speed with ball. Has Hall of Fame catch and shoot, limitless spot up and sniper, and some pretty good defensive hops as well. Has Dwayne Wade jump shot and quick timing. Has quick dribble style, Kobe Bryant size of escape package, and Damian Lillard behind the back. But honestly, I think D Wade is a really good point guard and deserves to be an A tier. And then Victor Oladipo is basically like a worse Dwayne Wade. Let me know in the comment section down below, what would you guys change about my list? These are my top 5 point guards in the game: Ben Simmons, Michael Jordan, Luka Doncic, Zach LaVine, and Derrick Rose. Let me know what you guys think about my list in the comment section down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.